following podcast contains possibly triggering material and strong language. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed are the speaker's own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of the Ride the Rebellion podcast and Craft Show Digital. The material and information presented here is for general information and entertainment purposes only.
What's up, and welcome to the brand new, exciting episode of the Ride the Rebellion podcast. I'm just making sure the microphone works. We've changed our studio setup. You'll see in a second. You'll see. Because mine looks very similar. But Dale's does not. We got a whole new place to bring our girlfriends. Dale Boyd on the casting couch.
Oh, man.
At the new Ride the Rebellion studios. Brand new to the world. This is our 87th different studio we've been in since we started this. It's pretty sweet, actually. I'm comfortable. How are you? Yeah, I'm fine. My butt's sitting on a hardwood.
Oh,
sometimes it happens.
At least it's not over here on the couch.
I bet let's see who that is. It's Matt Gates. Let's take this phone call live
on the air.
Hey, you're live on the air of the Ride the Rebellion podcast. Go ahead.
Hey, buddy. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Good to be calling in.
Yeah. What are you calling in for today, sir?
I had a flat tire this morning. I just wanted to make sure it was A-okay to go get that fixed.
Yeah, go get it. Are you okay, though? You're okay.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
All right, well, go get your tire fixed. Dale brought a basketball, so we may go film the rest of that video this morning.
Okay, cool.
All right, goodbye.
Bye.
All right, there you go. Another moment in the life of Ride the Rebellion podcast.
Well, I restructured my business.
No, hey.
So Matt used to be in this office, and I kicked him out.
He said the new structure is I need a couch in my office.
Oh, now you can see Birdie more often.
Hey, Birdie, what's up?
She's in a very inappropriate position.
It's fine.
He's got peanut butter. Hey, well, coming into this episode,
Matt handled that well though. That was actually really good. The little call in that was not planned, by the way.
Yeah, unfortunately, Matt is used to the zany antics that happen.
Ooh.
Wow, Dale just got a little wobbly. The zany antics that happen in the studio environment. We'll see. But the upside of this is it'll be better for guests. I think you're kind of canted now.
Let's figure.
Just do that. There we go.
All right. Thanks for working this out with us.
So that's part of what we're dealing with. And on this new episode, I'm going to mute my phone because now I'm getting text from my wife, which is probably like the same text I always get, which is, what do you want for dinner? And it's 7:30 in the morning. Do you deal with that?
Yeah, well, yeah. No, it's usually me sending that text, but it's her saying, I'll just eat cereal. I like cereal. And I'm like,
first off, Casey doesn't sound like that, but all 100%. Of every dude that rides out at the Reb at some point is when they voice their wife, there's always, and knowing that none of us are married to dudes, nothing wrong with that. If you're into that, that's for you. But none of us happen to be married to dudes. Even Carrie's not married to a dude.
No, true. That is fact. And the funny thing is, I was like, why is she some evil villain from a TV series?
We're not talking about Carrie. We're talking about Dale's wife.
Oh, yeah, Casey. Yeah, not Carrie. Yeah. Carrie's like the happy little fairy that flies around and saves you.
Carrie has become, here's my theory. Mm-hmm. Carrie is Snow White. And we are the seven dwarfs.
Oh, we are. That's funny. That's a good theory. That'd be a good storyline.
That'd be a badass shirt if you could figure it out. I could get AI to make that.
Oh yeah.
I'll just take her face, put it on Snow White on a bike, and then we'll have seven dwarves, and each one of us. Because Jake is clearly grumpy.
Oh, facts. That's without a doubt.
I don't know who yet is sleepy, but we'll find maybe Pat.
Yeah,
we have to make up some.
We'll have to make up personalities.
Yeah,
that'd
be kind of funny. Though
it would be hilarious.
She is kind of the only woman out there, so
I know. I was going to make a post about the berm I built yesterday and be like, "Hey, gentlemen, and lady, the berm is built."
Or we could do Lady and the Tramps.
Oh, that
almost sounds
clever.
Pornographic.
Yeah, that's true. But we are kind of trampy. I'm on a casting couch right now.
So. Listen, there's been a lot of people to sleep on that couch.
Let's be honest, though. You work in the film industry, and now you put a couch in your office. I mean, Here we are.
Yep. I can't wait for all
Thank
the
God I already
comments.
worked for you.
I guarantee you I'm going to get a load of comments, most of them from Uncle Ducky. They're going to send them along.
He'll be the first one laid out on this thing, too.
Oh, 100%. Oh, I'd love it if someone would do an interview later.
Actually, no, he'll just get a couch for his office because that's the way he rolls.
Zing! What we'll do is, you know who would, I tell you who would be the first person to lay it, if he would ever show up in Mobile again, it would 100% Nixon.
Oh.
And it would become.
This actually looks like Nixon a little bit.
Hagar the Viking?
Yeah, I mean.
That is a long, deep cut, very first video. So years ago, me and Jeff Worley, the beard face, had a YouTube live stream, and we go live on Tuesday. I think I've talked about this before, where I had this extremely rare beer, and then when we finally drank it, it was like a $250 bottle of beer. It's worth a lot of money, and we drank it for Jeff's 40th birthday, which is the same day as Sarah's birthday. So I didn't even share it with my wife. I shared, and it was her beer. I got in a lot of trouble. Anyway, there was a guy that would show up on there, and if you take the cable and put it around that silver thing, it'll be out of your way.
I didn't want to.
You got enough slack. We got to work out the kinks here, folks. This is real.
This is real time.
Yeah, there you go. Is that better?
Yeah, we're good. Tickling me.
Hey, what happened
on the couch?
But this guy would show up, and he would start talking to us, and because we were on at like 2:00 on Tuesdays or something.
Yeah.
His name is Espen, and he is a Viking.
Oh,
like he would come, and so whenever he would pop in, we would throw up Hagar, and like after a while, it became like an internal meme for the rest of our community of like all. Because at one point, like that's the early days of live streaming. People weren't doing as much. We were like early on to it, and so I was like, he has to stay.
Like typical Vikings, just leading the way.
Yeah, and it was just a random thing. I think that's one of my old boss's kids' toys, and I'm talking about his kids are 30. His kids are like 48, 49 now.
Whoa!
So like that thing's ancient.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nixon though. Thanks for helping out our boy. You know,
no joke.
There was a little situation with a Cannondale crank, and Jakey Poo called me and said, "Hey, can you help me out?" And I was like, "I can help you to an extent, but guess what? I got a guy." And hooked him up with Nixon, and Nixon is the man.
Yeah, it was something weird too. It was some
like a crank
thing.
situation,
right? Because they do theirs different.
Mm-hmm. Crank yankers.
Crank. You remember them?
Yeah, I do. And the Jerky Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Nixon, shout out. Good job. That's why Cannondale's kept you on the payroll. I got you.
This angle makes you look extremely thin.
Thank God. Because I'm fat as fuck right now.
It does not flatter my double chin, but it is extreme. And there's a shadow that comes from here that makes it look like I have a huge mole right here. From this Maybe I do. What is that? But yeah, this angle, you're going to be happy. You're going to look at this and be like, look at me.
It's about time, because I weighed myself. I have a digital scale that tracks it. I'm heavier now than I have been in 4 years.
Well, not in this camera angle. You look extremely thin. People are going to compliment you on how much weight you've lost. If you just post this GIF and be like, damn, Dale, you lost a lot. And you're going to feel good about yourself.
Oh, you know,
and then you're going to step on that scale and eat 12 donuts.
New year, new me. Same old shit, though. The funny thing is, the more weight I gain, the faster I can run. It's the most dumb shit I've ever seen in my life.
I think it's carbohydrates.
I don't know what it is.
Emily posted this, who's been on the show. Emily posted this great video, and it's her, and she's just eating a bowl of rice, like some kind of mixed vegetable rice situation.
Super bougie.
Right. Some kind of bougie bowl. And it was just her just saying, like, talking about how much she loves carbs. And it was just a silent kind of thing of her just doing that. And it was perfect, because it is true. Like half the time, like we know about fast acting carbs, like somebody will put a goo chew in their mouth.
Yeah.
But like if you start digging in, I know this is not necessarily a health show, but God knows it's not. But if you start looking at some of that stuff, if you plan your writing accordingly or doing, I had these, they weren't the tastiest, but I had these dried sweet potatoes, literally the only ingredient, sweet potato. And me and Chris did one of our rides, and instead of eating a granola bar or something else to give me some boost on the way home, I ate those. They're like 240 calories. But dude, when that carb hit my system, it was like it had rocket power.
Right.
Because
where do you think the sweet potato mountain bike crew came from?
Right.
Sweet potatoes.
Right. Yeah, but this, you didn't have to carry a big mushy.
No, he had a casserole dish.
Of just raw sweet potatoes or cooked?
No, cooked. Potatoes? Yeah.
No flavoring on them?
No, Filipinos are weird. Love you guys, but you're weird. And he pulled it out, a casserole dish of sweet potatoes, offered them to everyone on the bed of a truck at a trailhead.
Was it with the skin on?
Yeah, they were wrapped in foil in the casserole dish.
Did they eat the skin?
I assume so. Everybody was eating them like apples. I don't like sweet potatoes, so I was like, weirdos. They gave me some other Filipino thing. Yeah.
Look, there's some, whatever the Filipino egg rolls are. I
Yeah.
forget what they're called.
Well,
Flan. It's not flan, but it's larp. Something
Yeah.
like that. That might be Thai food, but it's something like that. Those things are ridiculous.
I mean, to be fair, that was still when I thought the Philippines was in the Caribbean. So, I mean, whatever.
The problem is you make jokes like that, but I've been around you enough that
No,
sometimes...
I was serious. I'm serious. When they listen, I might have told this story on the podcast before, but I'm doing it again. When I first moved to Mobile, I only met a few people when we were riding, and like the few people were John, Don, Willie, John, another John, and 3 of the 4 that I just mentioned are Filipino.
Right.
But one looks like The Rock, like very Polynesian.
Yeah.
One looks very Asian, and one looks borderline Mexican. No offense, Don.
Yeah.
But that's the 3 different types. I didn't know they were all from the same island. I didn't even know anything. And Jonathan, that looks more Asian than the other 2, was making Asian jokes one day. And they all speak different dialects. They all speak different Filipino dialects.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there and dumbfounded. I'm from the north. I know 4 people from cornfields. I don't know a single different diversity. And I'm there.
You're saying you're just as white as they come.
Oh yeah. I'm like actually glowing in this situation.
Right. Right.
So
Your
John,
privilege is full.
yeah, 100%. I was like, making stupid. He makes a ton of Asian jokes, and I was like, hold on, like, are these self-deprecating? Are you Asian? Like, what are we doing here? Like, I didn't know if I should laugh. Like, I didn't know if it was a trick. Like, let's get the white man. Like, I didn't know. Like, I'd never been around this type of people. Well, he's like, no, I'm Filipino. I'm like, well, how the fuck am I supposed to know? I've never been to the Caribbean.
Right.
Like, that was my legit response. And then they lost it, of course. And I was like, yeah. Like, I literally didn't know where the Philippines was because I had never even geographically cared.
It's that, I won't say who said it, but it's that joke that comes through is like, what do you call a Filipino pilot? A pilot.
Yeah, right.
You racist.
Yeah, you racist. Yeah, it's the funny thing is there's no Filipinos in rural Ohio.
Right.
Let's go ahead and throw that out there.
Right.
But the more I meet, the more I love that culture.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They're the
Justin's
most
graduation.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
Yeah, like we've talked about it before, but like lives in infamy.
Mm-hmm.
And so Sarah has a friend that's Filipino and she makes homemade egg rolls, but she'll make whatever those are called. I forget what they're called. And I'm sorry, I just don't remember. They're very good. But then she'll also step into some Thai food as well. And then her Thai food is really good. And it's like, this lady is just brilliant at. And I was like, oh, that's great. This lady's, what I realized is because when I would order from her, I would take an order is what I would say.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like 2, it was like 600 of these things.
Yeah.
Right. And then when we went to Justin's graduation, there was so much food. It was like a bounty of food everywhere for consumption. And it was like out of control. And then there was drinks flowing everywhere. And it was just this big, like celebratory event. You don't get that. Like white people get stingy and shit. They're like, hey, don't eat all of that.
Yeah,
Dale, your plate has enough food.
And the funny thing is we've come from abundance. They didn't.
Right.
In most chances. I love Justin to death more than just because he's our friend, but every time he shows up, he brings food.
I know.
Of some kind. And it's like a cultural thing where they offer it to other people. Like the whole time you're at their house,
your plate will never be empty.
That, or like they constantly care about what you're like. I went over and it was 1,000 degrees and Justin and Julius were putting a lift kit on Julius's Lexus SUV.
Yeah.
And I went over there and just pulled up a chair and to watch them. Like they're sweating, they're greasy, they're hot. And they were offering me fans. They were offering me Gatorades. Like, I'm good, you guys. You guys are the ones working.
Yeah.
Like, do whatever you're doing. So it's like a very I don't even hospitality oriented culture. I'm not sure how that is, but how to say that is. But
yeah.
And his mom, when we were at their house, was like caring for us the whole time. And even Todd.
If you're done with her, just say okay. Just say okay and don't pet her anymore.
Okay.
Okay.
She's looking at me laughing. No, you're not.
Okay, Birdie. Okay.
I was just more worried about her pulling the cable away.
No, we're done.
All
We're not playing cuddle time.
But yeah, Justin is he's
down.
one of our favorites at the Reb for sure.
Yeah. And again, Julius comes around.
Yeah, Julius is awesome.
He's a Reb member too. But it was just one of those things of like that the vibe of just that experience and just having that sort of thing. It's interesting because ironically, the first people you meet riding bikes, Filipino,
Mhm.
and they're the ones that give you the sweet potato that leads you
Yeah.
down this path. And it's one of those things of like, that level of courtesy is always, or
Yeah.
that level of
Honestly, the
culture.
Filipino folks have introduced me to more stuff. I got pho with them for the first time. I never had that before. Obviously, it's not their culture, but they introduced me to that. Essentially mountain biking. In their terms or their style, I was riding with them. They were the most friendly when we moved here. How about that?
Yeah.
That was
because the whites want to just bury you.
Yeah, and I was one of them. What are we doing?
I don't know. You just
typical
smell
white
like
bullshit.
You smell like a Buckeye.
Yeah,
Chocolate and peanut butter.
I'm surprised they didn't just lap me up, man. They did lap me though.
Hey, look at that! Just punsters. It's a new year, folks, and everyone knows that. And we're bringing back some sponsors. They don't know this yet, but new year, new you. Time to get a new bike if you need one. We got a couple of new sponsors on the show. Of course, we're going to shout out our local sponsors, and then we'll get to our other ones. So first off, we got ACBC, Azoka City Bike Company. If you're looking for a new bike, a variety of types. There are the only Kona, Marin, and State dealer in the area. It's nice to see them on the Kona website as being limited, and there's no one else around them. It's theirs. But it's an old school bike shop. It's got the vibe of an old school bike shop. They got a couch up front. They're trying to make it, I think as they age into that building where they're at, it'll get more and more unique. Obviously, they're on the show last week, so we give them a shout on that side. Not to leave out, if you want to go to an old school bike shop, it's not directly here, but if let's say you're on your way to the beach, then I highly suggest that you swing into Pro Cycle.
Yeah.
You stop in Fairhope on your way down there and take a little detour, take the long way, but go by there and just harass the shit out of Joseph Bolton.
The best way to get into Fairhope is to tell your wife she can go boutique shopping downtown, and I'll just walk down and have a beer with Pro Cycle.
And they know you're not going to buy anything. They just know you're going to sit there. But I think as long as you're not just lounging in a gross way.
Like you showered before.
I think you're okay.
Yeah.
If you don't assume that you own the shop when someone comes in, I think you can just hang out there.
That's right. And
Joseph will probably ignore you at some point.
Yeah. He's going to work.
He's going to work.
Go
he's
around
fix stuff.
Yeah. They're great people. I love them.
I do too. And they're one of my favorite bike shops. So again, another bike shop that's worth going to. A little bit further away than ACBC for me. So again, ACBC Reb member. Joseph is an honorary Reb member, and Katie's the most badass rider we have.
They both joined. Yeah.
Oh, well, they're both Reb members. So now we have 2 Reb member bike shops locally.
Yeah. Yeah, they joined a couple times.
Well, I'm glad they've joined. I thought we just let them in for free because Joseph is such a smoke show.
Now he's probably mad. He's like, bitch, I would have come for free. I paid.
Yeah, that's how you piss him off.
Yeah, he's good.
And then I think it's important to mention, like we've talked about them a lot on the show, and we joke about sponsors and we make jokes about them. And this one was fairly serious, but like we make all that. But I got to tell you, Jody, we've said it a million times, but Jody at BTR is the realest of the real. The only challenge to Jody, for me personally, nothing against him, is that he's in butthole Alabama.
It's Equality, Alabama.
It doesn't matter. It's so far away.
No, it's only 2.5 hours.
That's 2.5 hours. I ain't driving that. When's the last time you went out of town to ride?
To Bugchitto.
That doesn't count.
That's 2.5 hours. It's the same distance. They're like equally apart. It just feels like Jody's so far away.
Because it's a boring drive. That's the problem.
The drive is very boring. And there's no Buc-ee's between here and there. There's a Buc-ee's between here and Bugchitto.
That is true.
Hey, Jody, could you get a Buc-ee's built?
Yeah.
Please?
Watch him do it.
He's got everything else done.
I know. But if you haven't been up there, BTR is the real deal. When you call Jody and you talk to him, if you're having something, he immediately can help you work through a process. Though he does have brands he enjoys better than others, the one thing I found about him is like at the end of the day, he will genuinely give you the best option he possibly can.
And the most honest for what you want.
He's probably too honest.
Yeah, that's true.
We need to teach him a little bit of my tunnel people work.
Yeah, your tunnel people work. Yeah, it's and there's new things that Jody and Mish are doing.
Yeah.
We need to get up there and get them highlighted.
Yeah, it's on I have a shock I need to buy and then have him help me rig out.
Yeah,
so I gotta save up some money post Christmas. So
yeah, we're gonna do all that, but they're doing more for than just having a bike shop.
Yeah,
Like they have a place to ride your bike when you purchase it from them, or a test place.
Yep.
We're going to highlight some of that, what you get when you go there. The value of, there's nothing you can buy on the internet that's going to give you the same value that Jody's going to give you.
100%.
Because if you don't know how to ride a bike, you go buy a bike from Jody. He can take you outside and he can show you how to ride it. Right. And then once you get good enough, he'll set the suspension up for you originally, but once you feel it, he can set it all up, and it's right at his shop. Like, you can't get that value anywhere else. And it's worth a 2-hour, 3-hour drive, honestly, because if I'm going to spend $4,000 on a setup, like, why wouldn't I would drive far enough to have it all set up the way it needs to be set up?
Yeah. And I think like and we've said this before, but I think the ultimate combination is if ever there's a moment where Jody's set up and ready to go, and then, you know, Toby shows up with Summit, and you go to Summit Bike Academy and learn some stuff on that side, and then Jody goes along with you to help you set up your suspension and fine tune everything. Especially like if you're in the second stage of Summit, it may not necessarily work for a beginner class, but if you're getting in the second phase of it, you're starting to get into some of those tweaks. And if you get with those two guys and work out, you're going to be set up better than anybody else. You're going to be like pro level setup. It's like having, I forget that guy's name that used to be on the Fox Tires show. I forget his name, but he was like this dude that would just, you know, these pros would come in and he'd be like, 2 clicks and put in this one spacer.
Oh, the Santa Cruz guy?
No,
I
don't know. He worked for Fox.
Oh, okay.
Fox had a show on YouTube where they would just show suspension.
I didn't watch it.
And the pro, like Menard would come in and he'd be like, try 2 clicks and then one this way. And then he would do it. You know, his tech would do it. And then Menard would show up and be like, yeah, I really liked it, but I think 1 click this way. He goes, well, if you do that, like he would counter him.
Yeah. Jody's kind of like that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's like, so if you have someone who's teaching you good technique, like Toby's got, and then you have someone who's teaching you set up like that.
Ironically, not to step on our other sponsor, Summit, but Jody and Mish are now certified.
What?
And they can help you coach too.
What?
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
They're PMBIA certified, which is really hard to get. And they went to North Carolina and spent some time over there, like a week, I think, to get certified to help coaching too.
So now they truly are a one-stop shop.
One-stop
shop. That's what we were saying.
And Jody's carrying a full line of high-end suspension products now, and like I don't understand why you would go anywhere else.
I really don't. Yeah.
I mean, obviously to your local bike shop, but if you're taking the next step,
great part is you can still buy if you know, because all the bike shops have different stuff. Like you know, ACBC's got Marin and Kona if you're looking for a mountain bike. Yeah. They still carry Santa Cruz at Pro Cycle.
I would hate to say one way or the other.
Yeah, but Pivot we know.
Yes.
Right. So you can go there and get those. I think at one point they had Santa Cruz listed, but maybe not. But at least Pivot we know for a fact. And then Jody has Mondraker and Intense. So you've got a variety of options you can pick from, right? And then obviously you can go Eastern Shore. If you're down here, you can go to Eastern Shore and get a bike from Phil. And I've told this before. My friend in Warren, Ohio bought a bike from Phil because I referred him to Phil. He wanted a very specific specialized, and I said, call Phil. Phil had it. Phil shipped it. So my buddy now bought a bike from Eastern Shore all the way up there. My point is, it doesn't matter where you are listening to this podcast. All of these shops have different varieties of bikes. But the one thing that makes Jody super unique, you can take any of those bikes to Jody, and Jody can not only fix your suspension or help you get it dialed in where you want it, he can also show you some tricks and tips.
And you can ride there.
That's right.
Like none of those other bike shops can compete with the rideability.
That's correct.
I mean, it's not Oak Mountain. It's not Coldwater. It's a mountain bike training compound. Like, go there with that in mind.
But it's set for you to figure out what you're doing right and wrong and better.
Correct. Yeah. And you're going to feel welcomed there. Yeah. Like, I mean, it's just a family, you know, every time I've ever been there, there's multiple people in the shop and everybody's just hanging out, and Jody can't get any work done because everybody's hanging out. Right. So if you want to get your specific stuff done, schedule it with a time so you can be there with him one-on-one. Yeah. He will definitely be. The
other funny part is that's why he goes to bed early. I bet he gets like when he doesn't have to do his normal job, he like rolls up in there early in the morning. He's like me. He gets up super early just to get ahead of his daily work.
He goes hard and then goes out quick.
Yeah, that's what we do.
I'm going to make a shirt for him or something that says like, I party really, really hard until 7 p.m.
Yeah, right. And by party, it means he doesn't drink.
No, he doesn't drink. He parties by talking about mountain bikes to literally every single person because he loves it. He is not doing anything for money. He's doing it for the love of mountain biking, 100%. Like There's no reason why he would go to spend 2 weeks in North Carolina to get certified and all this suspension stuff, and then come back
or have a team.
Yeah, he's had a team for years,
Right.
years and years,
Right.
and he's doing that just for those kids to have a great experience on bikes. And I know who's not going to have a kids team is you and I, ever.
I'm not even allowed to be near kids teams at this point. They've gotten, what are those called?
Not court ordered.
Yeah, they've got Chris Hansen watching me like a hawk.
Oh God,
The Chris Hansen, non-pedophilic.
no, it's just
But
hate.
it's just, we're just waiting for me to F up so they can just roll in. And
We saw this guy hide in the woods. He had sticks. He was going to stick them in their spokes. I know he was. He hates kids mountain biking. Actually, we don't hate kids mountain biking. We hate adults that run kids mountain biking. How about that?
I don't hate anybody. Don't use the word hate. Not
I
in
did
today's
put we
world.
on that, and that's not me either. I'm just saying we hate the idea of the entitlement that parents instill on these kids.
I hate the entitlement of any parent.
Oh yeah, that's true. Actually, every sport has these every sport across the
Utes.
line. The youth parent.
Did you say
sport.
Utes up there?
No, I don't think so. No,
Is that more? Somebody says Utes.
it's probably up there in the panhandle
I think
of
it's
Canada, Michigan.
I think it's closer to Pennsylvania, maybe.
Oh, maybe.
You weren't that far from Penn, though, were you?
No, we're attached.
I know that, but I mean, like from crossing the state line.
Oh, to Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
No, that was across the state. I was on the other side.
Oh, you were?
I was in the Indiana side.
Oh, well.
There's nothing in Indiana.
Yeah. Well, except an incredibly good football team.
I mean, it won.
By the time this airs, they could have won national championship.
No, it'd be the Monday after this airs.
By the time this airs, they could have possibly won. They might be going to a national championship.
I mean, every blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
Hey, Ole Miss lost. That's all I'm saying.
That was
the best game of the series so far.
I fell asleep.
It was the best because they won. Miami won in the last.
Yeah.
Like 18 seconds left on the clock. Miami pulls off a touchdown.
I really hate Miami. I hate Michael Irvin. I hate Ray
Can't
Lewis.
stand Miami. Yeah. This is not a sports ball podcast, although we could talk about sports ball if you'd like.
I could have a sports podcast though.
I bet a fantasy football podcast.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And give me media passes to Senior Bowl.
We'll call it Welcome to the Thunderdome.
I think they already have one.
Oh.
Actually, Pat McAfee show is where it's filmed. It's called the Thunderdome.
There you go. See?
Yeah.
You got no offense, but
Sports guys
as a
have three
creative,
things.
as a guy who studies how to be creative for other people, I can just tailor it. I know,
Yeah.
like, first off, cue Limp Bizkit.
Oh yeah. Facts.
Secondly, anything's a Thunderdome.
100%.
Third, only 80s references, wrestling references from the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
McAfee's a
Yeah.
little bit different, but even then, he's
Yeah.
going to still make the 80s. He does a Macho Man from time to time.
Yes.
And then pizza is the only food item that matters.
Those are all facts. I don't even know why you would market to any other sporting event.
And they
with
think that it's hard to market. I'm just saying.
It's not.
Meanwhile, ask about marketing to women.
We have trigger words. And those three things are all triggers.
Women?
Well, yeah, that too. But if you have a woman doing Hacksaw Jim Duggan sounds carrying a pizza in the Thunderdome,
But that
Gotcha.
also means she's calling herself a hoe, which is perfect.
which is
Oh,
that's what
now
I'm
I get it.
saying.
I see.
It's
see.
all
There's a little
line.
intellectual. That's a little deep for the sports bros.
no, they would get it all.
Get it all. If you identify with this, please, you know what? Just put an A in the comments. Just put the
That's
letter
right.
A.
Yeah, please.
It's the first letter of the alphabet.
And if I have an extra spot on my fantasy football league, you'll be in. Let's roll. It's
Yep.
my fantasy football league's 17 years old now. For real.
Have you seen those leagues where the stuff is like brutal, the punishments?
Yeah, but we're not doing that.
Like
We set
somebody had to
guidelines.
get a job at Burger King. That's
Yeah,
a pretty awful.
The other
punishment.
ones are you have to eat a waffle an hour for every hour at Waffle House.
No
I've
way.
seen that. And like I forget if you eat some for no. You have to set in Waffle House for 24 hours, but for every waffle you eat, it takes an hour off.
Oh my Lanta.
So I mean, it could be funny.
12.
That's
I
not
could
pain.
eat 12 waffles.
There's other ones, like where you got to go set out on the corner and shame if you get last place and stuff like that. But
I've seen all that.
we made super guidelines when this started because I got guys that weren't originally friends. I got guys that were good at fantasy football and then some of our friends.
Yeah.
And so there's 10 guys in the league. We've only had a couple turnover and people change. But we started this in my garage in Ohio. We had a live auction draft and we would hire a dude to be the auctioneer and we would draft each player through an
God.
auction. So like dudes would bring pizza, we'd bring food, and we'd all be drinking. And the one dude named Ron, and Ron he told me he's got 17 grandkids. He's an older dude. He was older back then, but he played on our slow pitch softball. Like he's just a party dude, like a great guy. But he would always be so drunk when he got there that like he'd be like bidding, and we're like, Ron, you don't need this guy. Like, what are you doing? But he, like, one year he fell out of his chair, like it was hilarious. Well, now we're all spread across the country, so we do have to do it online, and it's not the same, and it's kind of lost some of the luster because these guys all weren't friends, and then that was our time to get together every year and like, hey, and so there's some other things going on in the league. I don't know if I want to share all of it, but a guy's sick, and we don't know how the future of that's going to go. That kind of sucks, but yeah, so actually Ron has a big garage now. He has a big barn at his house that has a indoor golf simulator and like a big bar area. And he's like, dude, come back to Ohio. We can do the draft again. Just like, let's run it back one more year for that at least. And I don't know. It should be fun.
That makes a very interesting, like short film scenario.
Yeah, dude.
You know,
everybody like flies in.
Yeah. You just have all these people coming in just for this one draft.
And they haven't seen each other forever.
Yeah.
But they've been talking shit online for years.
Of course. And then you just lead up. It all leads up to the draft, but you don't show it.
Yeah. Yeah. The draft it cuts off.
It cuts off right at the draft. And that way people are like, what? Because that's theirs, right? But everything, you get all the history of it and then you just kill it.
Yeah, because every year's
Stranger
different.
Things episode 9 style.
Or a movie that I will not name style that just came out last year.
I don't know which one.
I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
Because I want to ruin.
No spoilers. Yeah.
So we came to you, and this is how we do podcasts because no one knows the topic.
I don't even know it this time.
I showed up early this morning, and I barely had an idea, and I haven't thought about it either. I'm going to think about it with you. It's going to be a mutual thing. I'm on the casting couch, so I can mutually do things with you in your office. So
mutually agreed.
What do you think, and how do you think? Because I know you've explored this idea extensively. Maybe to you're staying up past 8 p.m. to try to
8
figure
p.m.
this
is bedtime.
How do you think AI is going to affect mountain biking?
Oh.
Or can help it
or
affect it, period? Because you've spent a lot of time working with AI recently.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple ways. I think the first portion of it where it's going to, let me break it into silos. So the first will be creative. And so there's a couple things. One, I think that the content you see, you'll be flooded with more content, whether it's good or bad. Some of it could be, as the industry term is now, a slop, right? AI slop. You will see some AI slop coming out. I saw some hilarious videos where they had people riding mountain bikes that were not supposed to be on mountain bikes, and it was like Rob calling them out in the background, right? And it was classic. It was hilarious.
Or world leaders all working on one mountain bike.
Yeah, I've seen that stuff. Those things are fun. You'll see some of that kind of stuff. I think you'll see more design work because it does make it easier for, like, I have no graphic design skill, zero. But I can go and generate some, like, I can take an idea, or you gave me one, and then I took it and kind of prompted it the way I wanted it to be, and then built a system in order to create certain looks. So I can do that. And I think that stuff's going to happen. You'll see some of that content. People that get offended by that, I don't really understand, because most of the time people buy a shirt or they buy a piece of art. They don't go call the artist and tell them thank you.
They also don't ride e-bikes.
Fair.
They're probably the same guys.
Absolutely. So in the creative side, there's that. I think in the technology side, what's really interesting, and this will affect racing, is just like healthcare and everything else, the more that we have AI involved, the further advances can go. So the limitations right now are human engineering, right? But if they can start running simulations, we might start seeing weird stuff. You might start seeing head to angle. I'm not talking about like bizarre because it's physics,
right?
But it can analyze things better. And it may come out that 28-inch wheels is the optimum wheel size. It's between 27.5 and 29, but it is the perfect wheel size. But now they can readjust the machining and tooling. So I think you're going to see some advances in that kind of stuff come through and push that. I think the biggest is going to come in the sense of like AI being incorporated. And I talked about this the other day. I think the biggest FU that's about to come along, and call it a prediction, if you will, eventually e-bikes are going to have, if you don't know do you know what SaaS is? SaaS. All right. So for those that don't, SaaS stands for software as a subscription service. Netflix technically is kind of like that. But in this case, software as a subscription service would be like Tesla, If you want the self-driving, you pay 10 grand a year for self-driving.
Right.
You're not going to have self-driving bikes. That's not where I'm going. I do think they're going to make e-bikes with a SAS.
Yeah.
And I think
Upgraded.
they're going to have it set up in such a way eventually, because they're going to get greedy and it's going to be there for them, and they're going to make it where it's a SAS. It's not like your Garmin paying for Pro Garmin, or Strava is a SAS, right? That's the best SAS. Sorry, I didn't think of that one early until right then. That's the best mountain bike. They're going to have it where whether Strava's integrated at first, and then soon it'll be like, well, if you want to unlock 22 miles an hour, you pay for this. Those are the three components I see happening. And I think AI will be derivative of that. I think some of it's going to be that maybe there's a subscription inside there. AI analyzes your ride. Now, this is where they would get people. Because it's analyzing the bike.
Right.
You plugged in your data, you plug it in, it analyzes your ride,
all
and gives you real-time feedback.
Suspension feedback and everything.
In real time. For your bike. But it's going to be that bike, because it's not going to just be an add-on. That wouldn't work. It's going to literally be because that bike is integrated with AI, and they're going to charge you out the butt for it. It's going to be like $39.99 a year or some garbage, and you're paying for it. But I think that's what we're about to see.
Yeah, it'd be like having a little Jody on my bike.
Yeah,
that'd be sweet. Actually,
the difference though,
could I get those little handlebar things for him to sit on the
right? But the difference is the feel.
Yeah, right.
It's going to dial you in, then you're going to dial the feel. So it doesn't mean that Jody's going to lose anything, because there's guys like me that like, I get it. I can know
analog
what feels
bikes
good,
are never going away,
but not on an analog bike.
Right.
You're still going to need someone to do that stuff, right? But the e-bike system, it's gonna hit that.
Yeah, I think that is actually. I didn't even think about that route.
And if I just gave you the ideas, I patented it first right on the show. So
it's called Tunnel Vision e-bike sales.
Tunnel Vision, brought to you by Tunnel Vision worldwide.
So I didn't think about that at all, and I was trying to think, and I was like, AI, like we've been talking about AI a lot, you and I have lately. So I was like, oh, bikes, AI, let's figure this out. But I think one of the ways that it can help out a lot is through training for riding. Because I used it for running, thoroughly integrated my life into AI to run for
Did
training.
you find that now that you did that whole, I know it was for that training thing, but we never had a after discussion.
It was creepy because
it was accurate though.
Well, yeah, it was very accurate. And then I uploaded my heart rate data back into it, and like my run race data. And it literally said, oh, this looks like you did great. You stuck to the plan. You stuck to everything. It said, looks like you around mile, blah, blah, blah. With this much time, you started cramping, or you started feeling fatigued.
Was that accurate?
100% accurate. It was like almost to the spot, because heart rate data is that like with a heart rate monitor and all the accurate, it has to have all that, but it was kind of creepy. But
so you think somebody could cheat it now for mountain biking now?
Yeah, you could,
but only on the fitness side. You couldn't put in your measurements yet though.
Probably.
You know what I mean? Like you couldn't put in your your rebound.
I did it. So like I typed into Garmin or to Chat GTP.
This is about to be, what was that story about Joe Henry or whatever his name was? It was remember that it was like that old story about like there was a guy that just laid railroad tracks.
John Henry.
Joe Henry's maybe a wrestler or country singer. Sounds like it.
He should.
Do we know a Joe Henry?
I don't know. Hey, we can make a country song.
Yeah. But they
Muskogee from Okie from Muskogee.
But he laid the train. Yeah, that guy, Mighty Joe.
Mighty John.
I don't know.
I
don't know who it is. Joe Henry might be another baseball player.
But he figured out a way to do it better.
And then he died.
Doing it.
Because the machine beat him.
Right. He tried to beat the machine.
Yeah. That's kind of think about that. That's some old school storytelling about.
But I typed into Chat GTP, like, this is the bike I have. This is the suspension setup I have. This is what I weigh. This is what type of variety I ride. And it gave me a range of
Did you
outcomes.
When you prompted it though? So here's the thing that people are not doing.
Yeah, you got to prompt it
I do
correctly.
a lot of I use ChatGPT a good bit. I mean I do. I use it a lot. I use it for lots of different things, inspiration, for creative, whatever it may be. The thing that you have to do, if you go to ChatGPT and treat it like a search engine and you go right in there and like,
yeah, you can't
tell me how to get faster, it's going to just give you the most generic and it wants to please you. So the things you have to do is like, hey, I need you to be a fitness coach.
Right.
Be critical, be hard on me. And then you plug in your information. Here's what I'm after. Plug it. Then what it does is it removes the programming that says, be nice to this person, make them feel good about themselves, answer with affirmation. It removes all that and it'll be like, hey, here's straight to the jugular, and it will change it. So you did prompt it in some way to.
Well, not with biking. I did it with running. I I was a fitness professional for 10 years. So
Yeah.
I said, answer this question with that in mind.
Yeah.
And now the greatest thing about ChatGTP, I think we've talked about it. If you go back now, it already knows all this about you.
Yep.
Like we prompted it one time. I think you were there when I said, "Hey, tell me about Ride the Rebellion." Creepily, it knows more. It knows as much as we've ever put because we've recorded all of it.
Listens to every podcast. Actually, it reads the transcript is what it does. But yeah.
So we got crazy answers,
We
even
did.
rumors about us that
Yep.
we didn't know.
Yep.
So now it knows that I am part of Ride the Rebellion. So when it answers and I say something about trail building, or if I say anything, and it like I was trying to design a shirt and it said, well, this is right on brand with Ride the Rebellion. Like I was like, that's
Without
crazy.
Without
prompting it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I was asking a question and it said like, well, this shirt actually goes right on brand, and it goes on to the whole thing.
Yep.
But if you keep all that in mind, and once I learned to talk to it like it's a human, it was way easier. Like you can't say,
Yep,
can you do this? Like, no, it knows that. It's smarter than you. Like
Yeah.
it knows everything.
Yeah.
So using it for fitness, for mountain biking, I think is a great tool. I mean, if you don't have an idea, or if you're sitting on this couch and you want to go to a race and you don't know how to get from the couch to the race, ask ChatGTP. It's not, I mean, it's easier than asking your buddies. Your buddy's going to be like, just ride. Just ride. And it's like, no, you need a plan to just ride. You can't just go from doing nothing to a race.
Yep.
There has to be steps, or you're going to get burnt out.
Yep.
So that, I think that will help. I also think that it could narrow down when you're shopping for a bike.
Oh, it's nasty.
It can tell you where the best value is going to be. It can tell you how, like, what brand suits you for your riding style. It could, because a lot of us go by what looks cool.
No, that's true. But even again, back to your point about prompting, if you prompted to say like, hey, I'm looking for a new mountain bike.
Mm-hmm.
Will you ask me questions that will help me uncover bikes, whatever it is? If you phrase it like that, like literally phrase it like that, what happens is it will prompt you.
Right.
And it'll start building prompts for you to answer. And it'll be like, hey, I think intense is the best for you. Or based on your riding, you like to pedal. An all mountain bike is what you want. And these are the best all mountain bikes according to Pink Bike, or whatever source it pulls from.
Yeah, right.
Remember, it is pulling from a source, right?
Correct,
It's not making up answers.
Mm-mm.
I had somebody say that to me the other day. I was like, well, it does. There are hallucinations, but a hallucination occurs when it can't tell the difference between reality and like when it's reading. It's just zeros and ones.
Right.
It is A or B, but sometimes it gets in between A and B, and that's when you get a hallucination.
Well, I go back and forth. I'll go the Grok and ChatGTP, and I'll ask the same
Grok
question.
is really good for technical, by the way.
Yeah, Grok is really, actually, Grok is, so I've learned that a ChatGTP is better for designing like posters or like art.
Yeah.
Grok is way better for real life looking.
Memes.
Yeah, memes. Or
Grok
like
is built for memes.
Real life looking, like more AI like that. And I know there's other AI, open AI stuff.
Like bait shops.
Yeah, like bait shops on Big Creek Lake.
That's a shout out to anybody. There's only 3 people there. So 4, my wife, she never listened. So
it was actually pretty funny. Yeah. But yeah, so that kind of stuff. And there's other ways that I think, like with the e-bike, our bikes are going to start being more integrated, I think. Yep. I mean, my bike is. I have wireless shifting.
They can still do an analog, the same concept I'm talking about. They can do that with analog.
Yeah, with our shifting.
100%.
Yeah.
And they can put it all in. You don't need a power meter anymore. We
need wireless brakes. I'll pay a subscription for wireless brakes. Get rid of all these cables.
That would be, now if they did it on that stuff, that would be.
Your subscription failed. What?
Oh, I got it. New business model.
Oh God, here we go.
Pay per shift.
Pay per shift. That's right.
Pay per shift. Instead of PPC, which is Google advertising, we'll do pay per shift. Every time you shift,
it takes a cent.
It would be a fractal.
Right.
That uploads to my Bitcoin account.
Oh,
it only takes crypto.
Tunnel vision. Another
dude. The thing about the pizza places.
The funny thing is, we joke about this. There's people sitting in a room on a casting couch right now making plans just like this,
bro.
But for real.
That's all real. Some stuff is dumb. Like pay per shift is stupid.
Right.
But if you're going to make a subscription for like all of this wireless stuff at one time, and here's the benefits, you would still get the wireless.
Let's just start a full pay subscription bike called Capitalism Bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah. For real.
Yeah. Why not?
That's why I love Jody so much.
Free updates. You just send people wheels.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's why I love Jody so much, is because it's like, I know he's making money and I know it's a business, but it doesn't feel like capitalism is hovering over his business.
There's a weird thing. I've talked about this before, but like if you're in fairness, Chase has some of this too, and Nixon has some of this. If you talk to any of them, they're going to talk your head off about something. I mean, Chase maybe not. He doesn't talk a lot, but like if he's had okay, fair point. Dill made that face. There it is. But if you find somebody that cares about something, they typically
passionate.
They're not thinking about the revenue first. Revenue's in their brain. If they have a business attached to it or money matters to their particular passion, but they're not going straight to money first.
Right.
They're just going to, and then that's when you find the same way with athletes. They don't care about, I mean, they do care about the money, but I guarantee you that the sports is still what triggered it. And then they became a business and they have to think about capitalism against it.
That's the problem with NIL stuff. Back to my Thunderdome podcast.
Yeah.
Because it's, I mean, now the kids are.
Now it's money first.
Now it's money first. There's even, so like they're saying kids are entering the transfer portal to get paid from the college that they're at.
Yeah. Gio Lopez.
Well, he's gone. He's leaving North Carolina again. But I'm saying like they're leaving they're saying like, I'm going in the transfer portal.
Yep.
They're not actually intending on leaving. They're just intending on the college to pay them more that they're currently at.
Oh, I see.
To keep them there.
I got it. Retainer.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go out here. It's free agency. It's like I'm trying to.
So how does that work if somebody enters the portal like Gio? We'll pick on him since I ruined his career. Well, he gets paid $3 million to play at UNC. Sucks all the not good stuff. Whatever you're not into, he sucks it.
Yeah.
And then the next year leaves. Does he doesn't get his $3 million?
It depends on if there's a contract. That's the thing. They're all going to have agents now. Because it's all going to have to be contractual. It's going to be. They're pros.
Now it's just swindling.
Now it's just.
I'm not saying he's a swindler, by the way. I'm just saying like that. You could game that mechanic.
He swindled North Carolina out of $3 million.
Well, good for him. Bill Belichick, he swindled, which I have no problem with.
But Bill Belichick's swindling all of the Utes right now. Yeah. But I don't know. I think it's I'm on a weird, because I was a collegiate athlete, and they make so much money for these universities that they should get something, but there has to be parameters. So like one of the things that I always was say, like I did a whole paper on it in college. I'm a sports management guy. Hey. So one of the things that I thought was they need performance bonuses. So like say that, because if a college makes it to a bowl game, they get big, huge bonuses. The university gets like millions of dollars. They didn't get there without those players. Well, let's give those players a bonus for making it.
Yeah.
So like, hey, you made it. Here's $500,000. Here's whatever it is. But the problem is Title IX. It's not a problem. It's a thing. Title IX means that everything has to be equal across the board. So like every sport,
right?
There has to be equal amount of male sports as there is female sports and things like that. And Title IX is way deeper than just that. That's surface level. But so if field hockey makes it to their championship, they're not getting millions of dollars because they don't generate that much revenue. So you're saying the football program pays for everything, or the basketball player. They can't do that.
Right.
Like it's just not going to work. So now you need to find a way that these kids can make money on their own. So like that's where name, image, and likeness made sense in the beginning. Like I should be able to go sign autographs and get paid for it.
Yep.
I should go be able to sell my jerseys and get paid for it. I should be able to go sell whatever I got, because before that you couldn't.
Right.
So it makes tons of sense. The problem is they're getting paid ridiculous amounts of money to not do anything.
Right.
To not do those things, but just play.
Right.
So it's become they threw it out there with the best intentions. They just didn't realize they should have known that it was going to get screwed. It sucks, but it's also like last year I think Ohio State made a comment, and there was somebody that was anonymous within the program that said, we don't like the rule. We don't like the way the NIL works, but it's the way it is. We're going to exploit it to prove that you can buy a championship.
Whoa.
And that's what they said. Like, that's what they did. I mean, they went out and
Turns
they did
out it was Miami.
No, last year.
Yeah.
But still,
Turns
it's
out
like
it was Ohio State.
Yeah. But still, it's like that, where it's, we're going to exploit it to see what happens. But they're still, like just like the Geo thing, if he gets $3 million and leaves in a portal to go get, like Quinn Ewers, when the first year at NIL came to Ohio State as a backup quarterback as a freshman, he got paid stupid amount of money to come. He had no intentions of staying there. He was going to Texas no matter what. But at the time, you couldn't get paid in Texas. So he left after
Good
that
gravy.
to go straight to Texas.
Yeah. So the problem I have with that is that then it's just gaming it in that way, and it just doesn't work.
They're all going to have agents, and which sucks for me because that's what I went to college for. So right now I would be perfectly positioned to be. I mean, I would have to get a law degree. That was my plan, was to go to sports management degree, get a law degree, and be an agent.
Yeah.
Well, now there's going to be not enough agents for all these kids running around, and the agents are just going to be, because the problem is you don't want a kid to sit down and sign a contract without knowing how
you shouldn't
it
sign
works.
any contract without
no.
kind of
And that's a whole other thing. There was a 17-year-old kid that wanted to go to a college, and his mom got paid, and his brother, and he wasn't old enough to sign the contract, so she signed it for him to go somewhere else, and blah blah blah. So,
but even in mountain biking, I'm curious to see, like, they don't have that necessarily, right? Because there's no collegiate. There is
collegiate cycling,
but I don't think
they're not getting paid.
They're not getting paid. Well, the bike industry is not paying anybody.
I mean, it's true.
But let's take downhill, right? And we go back to Jackson and Asa. Those two guys started making waves, and people started knowing their names. They built a brand for themselves because their riding was so good. So then when Jackson obviously is arguably could be the next GOAT, like he's ridiculously good, makes his transition into the pros. He goes semi-pro to pro or junior to pro. And now all of a sudden he's smashing it, and he's totally – now his brand got built up in such a real way that he'll have that longevity to stand out. But he took a younger audience with him and pushed them along, like people that could relate on that side of it, which keeps that side of it alive. As soon as you make it to where these young kids are in adult capacities, you're going to lose that rhythm, right? So if they just plucked Jackson at 17 or 16 and threw him into the pros, it's not going to have the same. He's a phenom, so he'd have some level of, but he didn't have enough time to compete against other people to show how good he really was in terms of, like, now he's just getting beat down by whoever's hot that week. Yeah. Right. Because he doesn't win every race, and he's good, but he doesn't, I mean, he wins championships, but he doesn't win every race. I just think it's interesting that these more amateur or these lesser known sports still have the right system in place to encourage that growth. I think they should get paid something. Yeah. But it doesn't necessarily need to be. I don't think I think the portal should be locked. I think it should be there's got to be rules about the leaving. Yeah. Like, get paid, but every contract to say if you leave before your there should be a sunset clause on your contract. Correct. And if you there used to be in all collegiate Division I, you couldn't transfer, you had to sit out a year. Yeah. And now it's just like a free for all. Yeah, it's like a wild free. Like, I couldn't imagine trying to coach in this environment, because you used to be able to recruit on your personality as a coach. About that, you're gonna have to, like, kiss the kid's ass. That's what I'm saying. I think that's why Saban's guys. No, that's Saban, but that's why Belichick came, because he's like, oh, I've dealt with this my whole career. I think I can handle it. No, you can't, bro. No, the problem is North Carolina's brand's not big enough for football. They used to be. Yeah, they're more of a basketball school. No, 100%. But I think they're trying to push into. They're trying to do marketing to push into that football. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. The whole. I don't know. They do need to get paid. The problem is we focus, and everyone focuses on major sports. Title IX is the biggest issue. Like, you have to figure out a way to pay every athlete at a Division I school, no matter if it's a track star. It doesn't matter. If you're a collegiate athlete, you should get paid. And I mean, I coached kids that went to college during the NIL era, and I talked to them about it, and they were getting paid by, like, random places. Like, you're not just getting big money. They're not big guys. They're just regular guys, but they're Barstool sports athletes. They're getting paid by Barstool. They're getting paid by, like, I think one of them was getting paid by a school for kids, or like a small learning center or something like that prior to the situation. But he would have to go there and show up and, like, talk to the kids. And he was a player on a Division I football team, a big name one. So it's, like, weird. I don't know. It's weird. There's money everywhere. It just is. And they weren't going for the money. They were going just to play Division I football. That's the other thing is there's a small amount of these kids that are getting paid stupid money. There's some kids that are getting paid that shouldn't be, that are getting paid out of the players or coaches are stupid. But schools like South, the Sun Belt schools that don't have the revenue, they don't have the history, they're going to struggle to keep kids that, if you're good one year, you're gone. Yep. And so that's going to be a hard place to coach. It's going to actually, Sunbelt and smaller schools is going to turn into, like, what old college football used to be. Yeah. Where you just get who you get. Or what is it Kurt Warner? Who's the famous quarterback that was like a grocery store clerk? Kirk Warner. Yeah. It's going to be that story.
Yeah. Where you're finding guys out of nowhere that just
turn out to be good, and then their loyalty, because Kurt
loyalty.
allegedly is a really good dude.
Mm-hmm.
Their loyalty keeps them in place, and that keeps them in, and they stay with it just for that reason because they feel loyal until they can't anymore, and you drop them.
The problem is money breaks that loyalty real quick.
The right person.
No, there'll still be those kids that are outliers that are like, I'm going to stay here. I don't care about the money.
Yeah. I mean, this is so far off topic now because I'm about to start talking about JMU, and that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting to your point about the NIL stuff. I do think it's an interesting problem that it does suck.
I don't even know how we got to NIL, by the way.
It was something to do with AI. We got there somehow.
Okay, cool.
But I do think it's an interesting conversation because it does mean that like sports like mountain biking that might have had a push collegiate level of it, XE mostly. There's probably some downhill teams that exist. Some.
Oh yeah, Ohio State has one. I messaged them. They're called the Ohio State Gravity Team. I tried to get a jersey.
Oh, that's rad.
They're not allowed to sell them.
Oh,
because they're not an official. They're officials. They're a club.
Oh, got it.
At Ohio State.
Yeah, if you don't pet her, she'll leave you alone eventually.
So they are.
Now you petted her. Now she's going to stay.
Well, they're a club at Ohio State, not an official sport at Ohio State.
Got it.
So they have sweet ass gravity. I was like, oh man, I need one of those Ohio State gravity jerseys. They're like, listen, we'll send you the graphics. You can make it.
But that's the problem, right? They can't. Those clubs and programs are not going to get representation. They're not going to have an opportunity. They're not going to get the same output. And I get it. They're not as big as football.
No.
I'm just talking about in terms of where we look at it in terms of like our hobby and sport. If you care about the growth of it in that way, my problem is I just don't care. Right. I think if you're going to ride a bike, ride a bike. I think most people that get into a bike side of things don't care about the growth of the sport side of things. Like anything else is the same. To me, it's the same relationship to AI. Mm-hmm. If you look at it and you say, oh God, AI is taking all of our jobs and panic, and that's the only thing you focus on, guess who's about to lose their job because they're not doing their job?
Right.
You. Because you're not focused on, you're so worried about AI, you can't do anything. Same way, like, well, there's not new bikers coming in. You're right. The bigger problem isn't that there's new bikers. The bigger problem is that we have kids. The rate that came out, that's 32% of children in this age range are obese, or pre-diabetes. 32%. That is ludicrous. That should not be happening. Mm-mm. That's more important than mountain biking. Let's just get kids back into it. Where's Arnold Schwarzenegger? Where's Ronald Reagan? Dig them up. Reagan. Schwarzenegger's still with us.
We'd probably have the support of those people, but we trashed them a long time ago. The people getting kids into mountain biking.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, actually, here's what I think is more important. I think kids riding is very important. However, I feel like mountain biking is a tough thing to do. It takes discipline. It takes pain. It takes a lot.
Yep.
I was nowhere near mature enough to mountain bike in my late teens to middle 20s. Agreed. I wasn't mature enough. Yep. I was playing another sport. It wasn't. So I think that there needs to be a focus on the 25 to 40-year-old that don't do anything.
That has expendable income.
Yeah. That needs a hobby and a fitness hobby, or a hobby that it gets them off the couch, or is an adrenaline filled. That needs to be a window of focus. And that's where I feel like we've tried to focus more on, is like that side, and stay in our lane in that area instead of trying to do the kids thing. Because trying to do kids stuff is not easy. I mean, there's a ton of hurdles.
Plus, kids are shits.
Plus, their parents suck.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, I'm not anti-kids. That's the dumbest thing. I'm 100% sell bikes.
But I think that it's not marketed to. Everything's always like,
but
more
I think
kids
if you
on bikes.
spin it and you're saying it's for what reason do you need more people into the cult?
Right.
I think the truth is, instead of it seeing it that way, because that gets into your virtue signaling concept. Instead of that, I want people on bikes because if it leads them to fitness, and we have a lower obesity rate in children ages 9 to 11, which my kids are in that, well, one of them's older, but they're not obese on that side because I make them do some level of exercise, whatever it may be. That leads to a healthier lifestyle, because any side of it. And then that affects their intelligence level, because kids who practice some level of athleticism in some way, shape, or form end up performing better, whether it's just walking. It doesn't matter. But a stagnant kid is the kid in the Texas basement that makes a 7.86s or whatever those weird culty kids are that are all on roadblocks. That's some heinous shit. Don't look it up. Don't look that up.
But
true crime shit.
Well, I'm thinking like we've always in the mountain bike industry is constantly like more kids on bike. Take a kid bike and do this with bikes.
That's
How about
to serve their marketing.
I know, but what if the focus got shifted to the 25 to 35-year-old, get them mountain biking, because guess who's taking a kid mountain biking?
Right.
Them. They're going to start a lifestyle of like, mountain biking is my life. I want my child to mountain bike. I want to get them into mountain biking. So like focusing on them, it's the same when the WNBA came out. I was in college and we had to do a sports marketing stuff. Well, the WNBA came out and marketed to men to women. I'm sorry, to women. They marketed strictly to women. Like, hey, moms, we got to get your daughters to play basketball. It was all marketing to women. Well, that doesn't work because who takes their kid to games? Dads. So make it cool for dads to take their kids. So that's almost what I'm thinking is like, we don't market to kids. We have to market to the parents that have the funding.
I think the marketing to women is genius for mountain biking.
Yeah.
Because I do think that's brilliant, because what you do end up with is if you get permission from your wife into a hobby and you're okay with it. Like, I don't want my wife riding a bike. That's my time. But if you wanted to include her, it's also a great way of like, once you have permission, it makes it real easy to buy new stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
And if maybe one of the things that you guys need is spend more time together, and this is something you both can share in common, maybe you don't have as much in common or whatever, but this gives you some, I'm all for that. I think that's brilliant on that side. Same way with the kid side of it. Sure. That's all. But on the women's side of it, the more you drag them into that scenario, the more that they're going to end up, they're the gateway to getting you a new audience.
And maybe another kid.
At a separate state. There's just not as many of them. Women are more just typically less risk.
I know where they'll all be. They're all going to be at the Limitless
That's
Bike
why
Festival.
I was waiting for you to tee it up.
Oh, I got it.
That comes up this year, right?
In September.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Amber, we're sorry.
It's this.
But we're plugging it. Listen, I segued right into that for you. So
I know,
well.
you teed it up. I was the whole time. I was like, "Oh, this is easy."
You knew where it was going.
Well, when you said that the women can they can give you tons of stuff, more bike parts, more trips, more events, and I said more kids as well. So there's that. I slipped that in. I had to come back to it.
Hey, slipping it in is how you got the more kids. All right. Well,
this is a
1 hour long podcast.
Also, this is kind of what it's like riding in the car with Dale and Drew.
Yeah, this is
like
welcome back, folks.
Yeah, this is actually better because we did all those mysteries of the universe.
And my neck doesn't hurt.
No, this is actually good.
Here's a better setup.
The casting couch is good.
It is good. Now,
our new T-shirts will have couches on them.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Oh.
Isn't actually Bethel has Couch Trail, right?
Yeah. I'll sell it to them.
No one will wear it because no one will wear it. They won't get it.
No,
even though it's their trail. Trash and
hey, we do have some shirts coming out soon. I'm going to pop some up.
Yeah, me too.
Not just the ones we talked about, but
new ones,
different ones,
different ones.
Well, you already know.
Oh yeah,
but still seasonal
shirts. Yeah,
because guess what? We are in the what is it?
Mardi Gras.
Yeah, but what do they call it?
Les Bon Temps Roulette.
No, there's another word.
I don't know. I don't celebrate Mardi Gras.
I know.
They shite on my people.
They don't.
That's the pores.
Wait till we.
It's the pores that they shite on.
Oh, not the tunnel folks.
No, it's not tunnel folks. They don't care. Tunnel folks are the ones throwing the candy.
That's you sure
you want me to throw Mickey?
That is true. That is true. No, what the revelry season? Oh, what is it called?
Well, I could yell.
No, we don't need to care that much. But hey, it is Mardi Gras across the Gulf Coast where we are located.
Yeah.
Most people listening to this have a Mardi Gras parade near them, I would say.
Well, they have them all the way up in St. Louis.
That's just fake. Oh, actually, one of my friends, Andy, sent me a picture yesterday. Somebody from this shitty little town called Kenton, Ohio, sent him a bakery has king cakes.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like,
and he said, I guarantee none of those redneck idiots in Kenton know what a king cake is.
I wonder if they put the baby in it.
I don't know. I'll ask him.
Or they just give you, because it's redneck up there, they just give you a literal live baby. You buy a king cake and they just give you a baby.
In Kenton, they probably do.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That's where the national.
You want this with or without a baby?
That's where the national coon dog trials are that I attended. Oh, Lord.
Those stories are just.
It's in Kenton.
Well, that makes sense.
Babies for life. They have, let's call it the coon dog king cake. That's what they should have called it. They messed up. See, they don't know how to market it.
If they made it camo, they'd buy it.
They probably think it is camo because it's green and purple and white. Yeah. That's camo to them.
Down there, them grass is purple. They call it purple grass.
They're like, they eat that jambalaya stuff.
Jambalaya.
I got a Jim up here. He's been making jambalaya for years.
Yeah. Just rice and sausage. All right. Well,
that's venison.
We got to be done.
All right.
Now we're on the ramble track of
Kenton,
That's-
Ohio.
That's going to do it for this episode of the Reb Podcast. Just remember what Skinny Dale Boyd says.
If you get on a couch, cast it.